New on Curiosity Stream.
With my infrared drone, I can see what others can't.
Drone pilot Doug Thron uses his bird's eye view for the ultimate good, saving animals from desperate situations around the globe. Join the rescue effort on a new season of Doug to the Rescue. And
You captured a Confederate steamboat?
We're taking the ship to freedom.
an enslaved crew, a stolen vessel, and a Civil War dash to salvation on impossible escapes. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 17, episode number 3691. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my cock, Montgomery, and you are the Men's Room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, the Men's Room shout of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Clack.
Drink it to drunk. All right, here we go. Nashville police receive a call about a lady at the Lucky Bastard Saloon who had lost her pants. $5.2 million is awarded after catching an STD from a friend is what the judge grants. And from an insurance company, no less. California man robs a sex shop at gunpoint and steals a Lovebots masturbation toy. A sex robot accent is bringing some Brits great joy. And a Florida man, he pets an alligator that he thought was a dog because he's an idiot. And that is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, almost everyone I know has had the embarrassing misfortune of someone walking in on them while they were masturbating, while they were shaking hands with the milkman. They've had someone walk in while they were auditioning the finger puppets. It's a horrible and humiliating moment because, let's be honest, that's an activity you never want interrupted. But unfortunately, interruptions happen, no matter what the scenario is. For example, in upstate New York, a courthouse had to shut down and be evacuated after someone interrupted the proceedings when they released hundreds of cockroaches into the chamber. In San Diego, a funeral for an 11-year-old boy who died of cancer. Yeah, it was interrupted when a wanted man barged into the church, followed by a bunch of cops who finally arrested him at the altar. And speaking of at the altar, a bride interrupted her own wedding just as she was about to exchange vows. The problem, you see, is that at that moment, she realized she'd forgotten half of her wedding dress. Now, look, I do not know how one does that, but she did. And then there was a city council meeting in Medina, Ohio that was interrupted by a long and loud fart. But look, interruptions, they come in many forms. They can be a sound, smell. It can be natural. It can be unnatural. It can be unnecessary. It can be Kanye West. But today, we want your answer to this question. Who or what caused the interruption?
Be part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick. They even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hey, all the Macholas, thank you so much for listening to the Men's Room Podcast.
And thanks to our pals at the Advocates Law Firm for being great partners. Yes, even you, creepy Kyle.
Seriously, though, if you'd been injured as a result of somebody else in your car, on your bike, walking across the street, talk to our friends at the Advocates Law Firm and let them help you out.
Yeah, they're the best injury lawyers around, and they want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. Plus, your first consultation is free.
It's simple. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Hello, Macholas, away we go. Welcome to Season 17, Episode number 3691. What a large and charged program we have for you on this beautiful Wednesday. Oh, hell yeah. What a day, what a day. The exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Steve, every week, I don't know how you do it. You find 3 stories in the news that suck. You bring them to us. We have to determine out of the 3, which of the 3 sucks the least. How are we looking today on Who Sucks Less?
None of these are awful. It's just more, what are you thinking? Or could you wait 10 minutes? Or that's basically it.
Okay, all right.
They're just not thinking.
People not thinking.
Yes.
That is a shocking thing. Who Sucks Less coming up. Also, as we do every Monday through Friday at 6, we head on over to the Odyssey app exclusively for the Men's Room Happy Hour. That is more Men's Room on a different channel. The Men's Room Happy Hour channel. When you download the Odyssey app, you search for that. We go live at 6 o'clock. You're going to get more Men's Room tonight before the practice of the new originals. We're getting ready to do a show on Saturday night. So we're not just that, man. So this is probably our final practice. One of the guys might not be able to make the practice after taking a tumble out of a truck. What?
Earlier today. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's inevitable, all right? So.
Well, I messed up my knee.
My phone blows
Mike,
up.
you took the tumble?
No, boy, Glenn Cannon, man.
Oh.
Right. So, I mean, but
he fell out of a truck?
Well, it's a whole long story, but he effed his leg up bad, man, torn something. So he said, but this happened this morning. So he sends us a text. He's like, hey, man, this is my situation.
Oh, no.
But Glenn, being true to Glenn, still wants to make practice. So, like, he's headed to the hospital.
Oh,
we will, seriously,
unbelievable.
We will see but either way, he says, look, even if I can't make it tonight, do you guys trust me to get my parts right on Saturday? If you know Glenn, we're like, yes, we definitely trust. So he'll be there Saturday.
Okay.
We just don't know if he'll be there tonight. Tara Daly's in the house.
She's
playing
a little
saxophone with us.
Mm-hmm. That brings back memories. Even the smell of
Why do they all
horn
smell
case.
the same?
I'm not sure.
Horn cases?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. The horn, it doesn't matter. Dude, I know it sounds
the big black
stupid.
horn case.
I know how dumb that
horn
sounds.
case?
It's got a smell to it. It's very unique. It's something
Is it spit?
No, even
brass,
if it's brand new, you could close your eyes, and if someone opens this case in front of you, you could immediately, maybe not the instrument, but you know.
It's what the band room smells like in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really.
It's a little spit, little dust, little rust,
some risers.
But it all smells like brass.
A little spit, little rust, little dust.
Yeah. It's a unique smell.
It is.
Really.
I mean, I guess it's the same way. Like, you walk into a high school basketball gym, for some reason it smells the same way.
There's a smell.
You walk into a wrestling room, you know what that smells like.
That's a terrible smell.
Band smells better than wrestling.
That's a heavier smell.
Yeah.
It's pungent.
Yes, it is. Sure.
Chlorine and sweat.
So the Men's Room Happy Hour coming up exclusively on the Odyssey app. And again, if you don't have the app, download it now. It's absolutely free. There are hundreds of channels to choose from. As a matter of fact, they suggest channels that we listen to every single day in our emails. So if you ever just were wondering, what can I listen to? I promise you, there are hundreds of channels available. Also, our daily Men's Room podcast is available. Our podcast that we do as far as the greatest hits of the Men's Room on a weekly basis is there. What is that? The best of the Men's Room for a week, Mike? Is that what we call it?
Say what now?
What is our best stuff called?
Yeah, the Best of the Men's Room podcast.
Best of the Men's Room podcast. Ted, I know you listen to that every weekend.
I do.
Megacast is on there.
It's really
Megacast on there?
Yeah,
the clips of the best moments of this week on the men's room for the
It has to
people
be fairly brief.
Yeah, it's like, what, 10 minutes long?
Yeah.
It's a short, quick.
There's a lot of content that we put up there on our daily podcast, and it's just too much to ask for your everyday listeners. So there.
Okay.
We also just taped episode 300 of the podcast.
Oh, get out of here. That's cool.
Yeah, I figured we've been doing it about 9 years. Tricentennial. Damn it. I'd come up with that all night.
You already missed it. You already taped it, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, that would have sounded cool.
Just edit it back in. Remove it, edit you say the tricentennial, man. Right? No one will know.
This is the podcast.
That's amazing. 9 years doing a podcast. One of the first, too, as well. And today on the question, who or what caused the interruption? We'll start with a story that we're going to feature, I guess, coming up also in Who Sucks Less. And you saw the video, and people had some mixed reactions to this video, as a Disney employee is facing backlash online after being caught on video interrupting a couple's wedding proposal at one of their theme parks. The footage, titled POS Destroyed My Best Friend's Moment, he asked for permission beforehand, was posted on a Reddit forum. The botched proposal took place at Disneyland in Paris, according to a Disney spokesperson.
Disney Paris.
Paris. Now, do we know, is Disney Paris, do they have like a, like you go to Disneyland, they have different stuff. So if you go to Disneyland Paris, do they have different things? As far as, I know that the tried and true core things will be
you
there.
have to have the basics.
Cinderella's castle and all the things, they're going to be there.
Right, I'm sure it has a Space Mountain. But does it have like Soarin' or something like that? Because
Pirates of the
California
Caribbean,
Adventure
would be there.
Right, California Adventure has a lot different rides than they do in like Disney World.
What other than the Disney classics, if you figure out whatever movies did the best in France, they probably, so if it's Little Mermaid and Lion King, I bet you they have a lot of that. But I don't know, I can't imagine French people just loving Disney.
I bet they love the little,
Who?
The candlestick from Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, he's French.
What's his name?
Lumiere.
Yeah, I'm sure they were delighted.
Get it, Lumi.
He's probably the biggest deal in that park.
That's a candle.
Footage in the 21-second shot shows a man dressed in all white.
Well, I guess he has candles in him.
Yeah, good point.
The man drops to one knee on a platform in front of the sleeping beauty castle. As the man presents the ring and a box to his love, an employee, donning mouse ears, jumps in between the couple, grabs the box out of the man's hand immediately. The man, who appears confused, rises and she said yes, as a crowd of onlookers boo behind the employee. Yes, that's right, but over here is going to be even better. The employee responds after descending a platform of stairs, all while spectators continue to boo. The move drew backlash across the multiple internet platforms. Quote, "This is awful." Disney claimed that they will, quote, "make it right," whatever that means. But there you have it, guys. Disney can also ruin your dreams. A man posted that on Twitter. As of Tuesday, the video had been uploaded nearly 100,000 times, with a majority of its viewers dissenting from the employee's interruption. "We regret how this was handled," a Disney spokesman told Newsweek.
Well, gosh.
"We have apologized to the couple involved and offered to make it right."
We sure are sorry about snatching that ring out of their hand and that important pivotal moment in your life.
That one employee's been fired.
A hot diggity dog.
Here, look, I have two thoughts on this. Number one, I get that it's a big deal for them, but...
For them, sure.
A lot of people get engaged.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Disney, any of the parks are massively expensive, but their customer service is top notch. If they say they'll make it up to them, I don't know how, but trust me, it'll be better than trying to propose right there.
Oh, Donald Dustin, come down here and fillet you. Hey, you want to make it up? Like, yeah.
That's a bill.
About to say, how would that work?
With a bill.
I don't knock it till you try it.
I mean, I'm not knocking it. I'm now
He
curious.
can handle 4 men at once with that big mouth. By the way, somebody here says that. Little known fact about Donald Duck. He doesn't like to brag about it, but yeah. They say there's a lot of Pinocchio, apparently, at Disney Paris.
Oh.
A lot of liars.
Oh.
That really doesn't. Like Pinocchio, I never.
And they got a Ratatouille ride.
Ratatouille and Pinocchio, huh? What's the Ratatouille ride? If I get on the Ratatouille ride, what am I doing?
I don't know, but it's called Ratatouille Ride.
Was Pinocchio French or Italian?
Italian.
Was it Italian?
Yeah.
Oh, Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
If I go to Disneyland, Paris, can I still get
Right. His dad's name was Geppetto.
Yeah, right.
French, huh?
Can I still get a burger and French fries? You think you can get the French fries for sure?
They call them chips.
Oh, they call them chips. But can you get a hamburger?
They don't. They call them frites.
Pommes frites.
Yeah. Can you get a cheeseburger?
I'm sure you can.
A piece of pizza, like some American food, if you go there.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'm trying to think. I mean, there's only a few Disney Worlds, but right. I think even if you went to the one in Paris, like you'd still kind of want some of the American experience.
Of course.
Ted, as many weddings that you've been to, has there ever been any disruption or interruption that was a little awkward?
Like during the wedding?
Yeah. Or the reception or any of that stuff?
I mean, receptions, people just get hammered.
Right. That's if it's going to happen, you kind of accept it at the reception. You're feeding
There was close to a fist fight at one.
At the wedding? Or
at the reception.
Okay. Right.
But this sounds horrible, but I've been to so many weddings, I'm waiting for somebody to stand up and go, I object.
Finally. Why don't you just do it? Because I've been to so many, I just want to spice it up.
Why? You know why? Just because.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. I have two weddings coming up.
Do you really?
July.
You sit down, Snap.
Do we get that option on your wedding? Does anyone object to that?
My officiant has sent over a rough draft, and I've not gone over it yet. But I'm
You
going
need to go over that.
Oh, I need to go over that.
I would have to think so.
Keep that out.
Honestly, I think the worst, most disruptive thing was right after I graduated high school.
All right.
One of our teachers, right? He was also one of the assistant basketball coaches. Either way, so at this point, right, like I'm almost graduated.
All right.
So most of the I think I just had. So the teachers at the wedding, like, they don't really care now, right? I'm
of
out,
course.
right? I'm 18. They don't really care. But they asked me to film it. Now, I know everybody in this family. Now, what I didn't know at 18 is that when you're filming stuff, and I had done it for a different teacher, and I just filmed it and let it be. But for this guy, they were like, hey, can you film some of the reception too? And I'm like, sure, no problem.
Right.
Turns out that, like, half of the reception footage is just I just have it pointed down. I don't think about it, and you just hear me talking to people, like ordering drinks, or you see me like the drink comes down, and then I'm like zooming in on people, like, look at this guy, he's going to be wasted. He's already drunk. But it never dawned on me at 18 that all that was going to be picked up.
Right.
So they were like, thanks for the wedding part, but like we can't show anybody the reception. Because Joe's like, half of it is just you and my sister just making fun of people and zooming in and out. So that one I still feel a little bad about.
Someone didn't work out before putting on their tux.
Wow.
Yeah, right? But no, Miles, I wish I'd seen something good. But yeah, I mean, receptions, there's always a few things.
Sure.
Like I saw a guy fall down a flight of stairs.
At a wedding?
At a reception.
Did they have to go like to the hospital?
I don't know. It was midnight. We were like, just lay him in the bed.
Right.
Like he was bleeding. But I mean, he's still alive to this day. He's fine.
Okay, sure.
But that one was great too. Because that was one of the few weddings I actually like hooked up with a girl.
Right.
So the next morning, right? Like she's like, I gotta get out of here. I'm like, cool. And here comes this sorry SOB. Just like sneaking in my back door of my hotel room, and he's like, why am I covered in blood? I'm like, well, because you fell down the damn stairs. And they were brick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. A courthouse in upstate New York was closed for fumigation on Tuesday after hundreds of cockroaches were released during an altercation that broke out at an arraignment, according to court officials. The clash broke out during proceedings in Albany City Court for 4 people for an arrest at the state capitol. A defendant who started to film the courtroom proceedings was told to stop. In the altercation that followed, hundreds of cockroaches brought into the courthouse in plastic containers were released, according to the state court.
How did you get you have to go through security, right? And I know they're looking for weapons but even if I'm a security guard, look, I recognize that these hundreds of cockroaches that you have in these containers are not a weapon. You cannot bring them in.
The bug release was being investigated while the courthouse was closed for the rest of the day for fumigation. Court officers arrested a 34-year-old woman in the audience for charges related to the altercation, including disorderly conduct, obstructing governmental administration, and tampering with physical evidence. She was released. It was not immediately clear whether she had an attorney to speak on her behalf. What transpired is not advocacy or activism. It is a criminal behavior with the intent to disrupt a proceeding and cause damage.
No kidding.
Read the statement from the Office of the Court Administration. Where does someone get hundreds and hundreds of cockroaches?
Hopefully not just their own home.
Can you order that on Amazon?
Or you can probably go to, I'm sure you can get it on like Amazon, pet store.
Right? I feel like there's some reptile that'll eat cockroaches.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if you buy mice for animals, you can buy cockroaches.
But wouldn't you be a little suspicious, right? You're working at the pet store, someone comes in and like, you really need hundreds of cockroaches? Like, if you came in about hundreds of mice, like, how many snakes do you have, buddy? You know what I mean?
Yep.
There should be like some kind of weird limit on it. Like, hey, only 25 cockroaches per purchase.
You also got to have an answer ready. Like, if I show up and go, I need 100 cockroaches, and you go, what kind of animal do you have? And I go, no, sir, you can't have them.
No, just
like if I don't just run out with like this kind of lizard, he needs those. It's like, all right, weirdo, get out of here.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying, to me, it would be worth asking. On that note, nobody did this on purpose, but 10th grade geometry class, whatever, it's a math class. The class is fine. The teacher's teaching. It's Baltimore City. Nobody wants to be there. And we keep hearing the scratching up in the ceiling. But if you go to school in Baltimore, knowing that there's rats in the ceiling or walls is nothing new. It almost brings you comfort. Like, oh, this is the normal school. But on this particular day, they were right above us. And everyone keeps looking up a little. Teachers telling us, ignore it. Don't worry about it. And then there's, in the average school, those weird, the ceiling tiles they have, they look like styrofoam, but they're made out of whatever. So we had those standard ceiling tiles, and then there's a telltale crack. All right, it cracked. So now everyone's looking up, a little bit of dust, and then maybe 10 seconds later, 3 rats drop out of the ceiling, like they're ninjas invading us, and they're landing on people's desks. They hit the floor. Keep in mind, the rats are huge, man. So they start running around. The class goes into complete disarray, and basically all of the students left the class. It was over. Teacher couldn't do anything to get everyone back. Everyone kind of got overexcited about it, knowing that it was the last period. Just keep that in mind. So a lot of us just use this as an excuse of, oh my God, I'm so scared to run. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I'm going home. You know what I mean?
I'm so scared.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like the class just ended, and we were like, God damn. So when we get to school the next day, the way they dealt with it, the one ceiling tile that popped out, they didn't bother to replace it. They just told us, hey, don't like climb up in the ceiling, because they just put rat traps up there. That's all. They just put it on the other tiles. Jesus. So about a month goes by. You're sitting in class and you're like, I got one.
Yeah. Oh, you can hear them snapping.
Yes. Oh, that's how they solve things. We're just like, Jesus Christ, man. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to be here, dude. That's part of the reason why.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just standard operating procedure.
Well, my sister still lives in Baltimore, and they have like these, for the rats, they're like electric boxes.
Yeah.
Say, what is that, a trap?
It's a trap.
It's a trap, but yeah, because like some of the traps aren't big enough or whatever, but like, yeah, you can tell when one gets in there.
Yeah. So it's like a bug zapper, but for rats?
Because they're so goddamn big.
Yeah.
Huh. A standard rat trap does not work on them.
No.
Right?
And that's basically what the exterminator, everybody's like, they're like, you got to step up to the new level of, I guess,
new level of
rat torture.
Oh, they have a different name.
I mean, right, they don't call it rat.
Step on up to the Rat Z Killer 4000.
Right.
Yeah, right, because you're just like, what is that, man? It's like, do you really want to know? Like, yeah, it's like, it's for the rats. Like, ooh, man, I forgot.
You just stick it out in the alley and zap one at a time, and
I wouldn't stick it in the alley because at that point you're just killing rats to kill them.
Right.
But say you had a deck and they're often getting into your grill, you might leave one on your deck. Or if they sneak into your basement,
good times. They don't even sneak. It's like open your goddamn door. I'm here.
Mine came in through the oven. That's how they were coming in. They were coming in through the oven.
What, did they push the oven door open?
No, they were coming in through the bottom where all the lines are.
Oh.
So they were coming from underneath, but they were coming through the oven. That's how, which makes it worse because that's where I'd find droppings every morning.
I know.
You just walk out there and it's like, it looks like somebody left out raisins all over the top of my counter.
Well, I mean,
every morning.
Think about because my cousin, it was his house first, and they got people over. They got the burgers made and everything. He goes out to fire up the grill, and there's 2 rats in it.
Good luck, bro.
As soon as he lifted up the hood.
Yeah. Same thing. Just like chilling in there. There's like poop all over, and it's like, I guess we're going to Lido's.
Anybody hungry?
Right?
Who or what caused the interruption? 206-421-ROCK.
New on Curiosity Stream.
With my infrared drone, I can see what others can't.
Drone pilot Doug Thron uses his bird's eye view for the ultimate good, saving animals from desperate situations around the globe. Join the rescue effort on a new season of Doug to the Rescue. And
You captured a Confederate steamboat?
We're taking the ship to freedom.
an enslaved crew, a stolen vessel, and a Civil War dash to salvation on Impossible Escapes. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Bro, gnarly. What's up, Taylor? Dude, that nerd in his electric hybrid totally blew the light while texting his yuppie friends.
That's so bogus, bro. Are you hurt?
Yeah, like I can't move my hips, bro. I think I broke my pelvis, man. Dude, no way.
Taylor, you need to drop a dime and talk with the lawyers at the Advocates Law Firm.
No way, can't afford that, bro. Your crotch is broken, man, and they don't earn any money unless they win your case. Dude, no way. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
Shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Biggest rock festival of all ever in the entire world. 3 big days, Labor Day weekend. Hope to see a Pain in the Grass. Pain! Yes! Friday, September the 2nd, you'll see Incubus and Sublime with Rome. Pain! Yes! Join us Saturday for Alice in Chains, Breaking Benjamin, and Bush. Pain! Yes! And then Sunday, Sammy Hagar, George Thorogood, and Queensryche. Pain! Yes! There's 3 big days. We are celebrating our 5th year anniversary a little late, as it's been a few years since we've been able to do Pain in the Grass, so go big or go home this year. Tickets on sale now, KISW.com. That includes the Men's Room happy hour and a half package.
Yes! That is correct.
You'll get a t-shirt. You'll get a beverage on us. Maybe some other things. Figure out what's going on.
Depends what you're into.
Yeah. But it's a little private party, so hopefully you can join us for that. I want to see you get like a premium seat, Ted, or a premium seat.
Yes! Reserved.
Yeah, reserved. Some kind of
Yeah.
seat, whatever you're talking about in the commercial I heard you talking about today.
Oh, yeah.
Get all that and more. Details on the 3 days at KISW.com. And hopefully we will see you at the Men's Room happy hour and a half, and it's going to be a hell of a 3-day weekend. So hopefully if we don't see you for at least 2 or 3 of the days, you can make it to one of the days with your favorite lineup there for Pain in the Grass. All right, question, who or what caused the interruption? 206-421-ROCK.
I like this one regarding school. It says, in 1988, I was in the 8th grade. At the beginning of our 5th period class, a kid stood up and started vomiting into his own hands. Well, my friend yells, "Oh, right, David!" And everyone started running out of class, and we went to the gym to play basketball. Fun times.
I don't think there was ever an incident at school for me where we were able to go home. Like no water line breaks.
Right.
Power never went out. There was never, even if it did, if there was a thunderstorm in the middle of the day, they had emergency lights, and we would sit there and still do something.
Yep.
It was impossible. It was impossible for them to give us a day off. It seems like now kids got to get, why are your kids off Monday? Oh, the teachers are talking to each other.
Yeah, I don't understand
some weird thing.
My kids have a half day today. I'm like, their last day of school is Friday.
Why?
Because it's Wednesday.
Why?
I know.
I learned last week they have those.
What, half
Did
days?
your wife remember to get them?
Yes, she did, because I texted her earlier. She said she's watching Stranger Things with her son. So I'm like, excellent.
All right. No,
It's always a little dicey on Wednesday, man.
I literally only know that because he brought up a story last week about her forgetting one day.
Oh, yeah. I only mentioned one time. It has happened more than once.
I will say this. I remember showing up to high school once, and we turned the math is kind of in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
So you got to go through these back roads, and there's fire trucks. And me and my buddy Josh, because he's driving, we're like, oh, yes.
The school's on fire.
Right. You could see him down the end of the street, and I'm like, should we just go home? And he's like, I don't know. Should we go home? And I'd be danged. It wasn't already faculty about 2 blocks away. There's no fire. Go to school. They were already standing out there.
Don't even try.
Yeah. It's like, damn it.
Who or what caused the interruption? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Joshua. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
So my story was back in high school, I was watching my younger sister with my girlfriend at the time, and we were all three watching a movie together, and then my sister had to take a shower, so I figured that we had some time to do stuff that high schoolers enjoy doing with their girlfriend. And while the shower was still running, she must have not had a towel, and she barged into my room when I was right in the middle of the act.
You mean the act, like all the way?
Oh, yeah.
But at least you were with someone, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Dude, trust me when I tell you this, all right? Look, people can walk in on you masturbating. They can walk in on you having sex. And obviously you don't want a biological relative, but at least when you're with someone else, you're having sex. Yes. When you're masturbating, it's just humiliating. Like, I'm not embarrassed if you walk in on me having sex. I would ask you to leave. Masturbating, it's weird. Like, everyone agrees to not bring it up again. It's this horrible moment.
Even if no one sees anything, but they kind of just can put the pieces together of what happened. Like, when you went to see your dad, it's not that you like, you didn't barge in on him in the act.
No.
But you knew.
It took him a while to answer the door, and he was sweaty.
Right. And he didn't know you were coming, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sorry about the choice of words. But that said, he did not know that you would show up at his place.
Right. I was back east for a wedding. I hadn't really seen any of my family. I just went to my buddy's wedding. And then on Sunday on the way home, I was like, I got a few hours to kill. I'll pop in.
Yeah.
So I saw Bernie, and then Bernie only lives 20 minutes from him. So I'll just show up. Yeah. And look, it's summertime, but he has central air at the time. And
he's in the basement where it's cool.
He's dripping sweat. I'm just like, what have you been doing?
What he's doing.
And it took him like 3 minutes to answer the door.
It's so annoying, especially like if you have the house to yourself. I got the kids, I got the wife, suddenly you got the house to yourself. And it's like, you know what? I am going to get down to some solo business, man. And I mean, you get going, and then someone is at your door. And no matter who it is, you're already angry. And look, 9 times out of 10, Amazon can just leave the package at your door. But no, not this time. This time I have to physically sign for something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And you hope they'll go away. So the doorbell will ring. Now the dog's going crazy. And now the dog's looking for me to let me know that someone's at the door. And I'm like, I just want to masturbate. Now, there's all this. And then when you sign the thing, you almost feel bad. Like, oh, this is the electronic signature. Like, I don't know if you want my hands to. Okay.
I would say phone calls, too.
But I won't answer my phone.
No, but even sometimes.
Do you glance over to see who it is?
Yes. And sometimes it kills it.
Like mom calling.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to stop.
Good God. I always found that, like, when you first got to discover your special purpose, it was important to me to drown out the sound of parents. Because when you're a teenager, you're going to do as much as you can, anywhere you can. But, like, I could hear my parents talking in the kitchen. I'm like, I'm now listening to them. Like, I can't do it.
I can tell you this. When you have kids, it's either really, really early or really, really late.
Yes.
And both times, for some reason, as soon as you think you're safe, you're not. Your kid will get up, even if you tried to shake them in the morning and you could not rattle them out of your bed to save their life. For whatever reason, if you're doing that,
hop on the computer.
They're up. They have a stomach ache. Something is going on. Something is going on. I have never been busted, but the one time that it was close was about noon on a weekday, and I'm home. And at that point in time, I was working in the morning, so I was home by about 11. I picked up the kids from the place at about 2. I had a small window of time to have some me time, get ready for dinner, kind of go grocery shopping, that kind of thing. So I'm in the dining room of this house where the computer table is. We don't have any furniture yet because we just kind of moved in. Matter of fact, I don't even think I had blinds.
Oh, God.
It was one of those things. But I was far enough away where you couldn't see anything and you really couldn't see in the window. Either way, I'm sitting there and I'm handling my business. And I hear someone walking up my basement steps. And then I always get that door closed. Then I hear a knock on the door. And I'm like, yeah, gas man.
Oh, no.
Gas man? Yeah, man. You got an updated bill. So
perfect timing.
Right.
Just what I was thinking about.
And what had happened was, for some reason, I just did not pay the bill. But the bill was a 2-month bill.
All right.
So now the bill's a 4-month bill. All right. He wanted to physically hand me the bill because that's part of his job. I want to give this to you so you know if we cut off your...
Slide it under the door,
cut off your gas or whatever the deal is. But it was amazing. He's in my house. I don't know how in the hell it happened.
Right.
It was the damnedest thing. And he's walking, and there were wooden steps, and I could hear him there cracking the whole time. And it gave me plenty of time to pull up my pants, do all the things. I went over there, man. I took the bill out of his hand. I'm just like, you were so close to catching me just going to town, man.
I had one weekend day where I had some time to myself, and so I ran upstairs to my bedroom. My bedroom is all the way upstairs, down the hall. I am in a corner all to myself. I shut the door, get everything all prepped, and we're having at it. And then my older sister wanted to burst in on me, catch me off guard, scare me, get a little jump scare going on. So I am mid-throw, and all of a sudden I hear the door crash open, and I launch up. Now, keep in mind, this was the time that I learned that you have to have some sort of alibi for why you're in the compromising position that you're in, because I had nothing to go on. Pants around my ankles. I had the sock in hand. I had the computer open. The volume is up. There was no mistaking what is going on here.
There's no way you could do all this.
So I launched up and just slammed my laptop shut, and I look over, and my sister's back is to me, and she says, "Dinner's ready," and she walks away.
God. Dinner's ready. Ted, you haven't heard that. I told Mike and Miles earlier today. It's true. This is last week. We weren't interrupted, all right? But me and my wife kind of know the train's about to leave the station. We're feeling it, right? But the kids are still up. Whatever. We waited out. The kids go to bed at 9. We wait until about 9:10. And then we go all the way to the basement and to the guest room.
All right.
And we throw down and we have our moment. And when we walk back up the stairs to the living room, both kids who had previously been in bed are now sitting in the living room looking a little concerned. So we're like, "Guys, what's up?" And I said, "Well, we just couldn't find you." And we said, "Well, we were just downstairs. Why were you looking for us?" And my son says, "I heard something. Sounded like the dog puking, but she was in the room with us." So I immediately went outside so I could laugh and just let my wife deal with that one.
Oh, yeah. How do you take this one?
Dude, I almost burst out laughing. It's just like, sounded like the dog was puking, but the dog was in the room with us.
I like they're legit worried.
Oh, they seriously. So they hear this mystery noise, and so they're looking for us, couldn't find us. We're like, "Yeah, I'll check downstairs, make sure everything's cool, man. It's all good. It's all good." Who or what caused the interruption? 206-421-ROCK. Hello, AJ. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Well, I was by myself in my apartment with my girlfriend, and we started getting a little frisky, and it was I'm pretty much orally inclined, and we're getting into it, and she makes a sudden move. I'm sitting down, if you can imagine this, and I jerk, and my left kneecap dislocates.
While you're getting serviced.
Yeah, when I was doing justice. So my patella is now on the left side of my knee, and it's bent. I called my pediatrician. I was probably 22 at the time because I didn't have a doctor, so I called my old pediatrician. He said, "Get really relaxed. You're going to have to stretch it out, and it's going to pop back in." I go, "Oh, you got to be kidding me."
No, it's exactly.
So, that's how you do it.
Well, so I said to my girl, I said, go up in the cabinet. There's a bottle of whiskey. Give me a glass of whiskey. And so I said, I'm not so sure. I think we better try something else to relax. So it was kind of like a side saddle, reverse cowgirl. And then after I relaxed completely, we did stretch it out, and it was a god-awful pop.
It's terrible. It is so terrible. It is so terrible.
Oh, it was. I was afraid that I would be ruined for life.
Have you popped your knee out again?
I have not, but I've popped my shoulder many times.
Yeah. Last time my knee came out of socket, it was in the middle of the night. I have no idea. I could feel it coming on, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. Did you start waking up? You start having a dream? I was already sitting up. I was already sitting up and on my side, kind of, because you need to sit up straight and kind of just push down on your thighs. But I was already kind of in this locked position like this. So I'm screwed, and I can see it over here, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, this is not the way you want to wake up. And then, of course, after you put it back in, it's about an hour and a half of pain. Yeah, for sure. So you're not. Yeah,
and it's sore.
And you're not going to go to sleep. So basically, from that point in time, I'm just sitting there like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I've done it numerous times.
Yeah, I was going to ask, man. You're kind of like the king of it, right?
Yeah, I've done it dancing, jumping off something in the sand. It's happened numerous times.
It does feel weird, though. You can take things out of socket, and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to go to the hospital.
Right.
Shoulder I can put back in, knees I can put back. I don't know, my right knee's harder to put back in than my left knee.
Oh, for me, it's only my left.
So you, okay, yeah.
But after
my
a
left
while,
I can pop back in pretty easy.
It got like strong enough where like it hasn't happened in years. But like you feel it kind of move and the tendons will pull it back over.
Yeah.
But yeah, my
horrible feeling.
Yeah, my cousin Tom, we were playing ping pong once and he just turned wrong.
And just went
through
down.
the paddle. And like almost hit our other cousin and he's just on the ground like, my knee popped out. Yeah.
Who or what caused the interruption? 206-421-ROCK.
We were talking about masturbating and people's different methods. This is awful. It says, I use my phone for viewing pleasures. And it really sucks when someone calls like my parents because then that comes up on the screen with their pictures.
Yeah.
Talk about a mood killer. Mm-hmm. Right, you put people's picture on the phone. It's like, Mom's calling. Like, oh, God.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. Don't, dude, you know who your parents are. You know what they look like. Delete their picture. So when they call, it just says parents, not your mom smiling
Some
at
of the phones just update it.
Do they?
There's some people that call me and it shows up with a picture and I'm like, I didn't save this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn. I'm glad that hasn't happened yet.
Last flight I was on to Seattle, it was a woman who, she was 18 years old, and she was going to school, I can't remember where the hell she said. It was like either Clemson or someplace in South Carolina. It might have been in private school. Either way, she's 18 years old.
All right.
And at some point in time, mid-flight, I'm like, the hell with it. It's a 5-hour flight from Atlanta to Seattle. I'm going to get the Wi-Fi. So I get the Wi-Fi. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to be able to look at Twitter and everything else. I mean, the first thing that popped up on my Twitter feed was one of my followers liking a woman with a huge penis. And I'm just like, yes, exactly.
I know.
You got to unfollow those people.
I know, but at times you don't know who is liking and who is commenting. I mute them normally.
Don't mute them. That's what I'm saying. Like, unfollow them.
Right, okay.
Like, seriously, because there's people that retweet porn, you get a quick unfollow. Like, I can't have that in my timeline.
I can't either.
Of stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying, but it was the first picture.
Did she see?
I'm almost positive she did. How could she not?
I was on a bus.
I was like, oh my God, dude.
I was on a city bus, and this is back when people still use iPods. I have my iPod, and we stop at some random stop, and like 30 kids get on, all right? And they're with teachers. They're having some kind of field trip. I believe they were going to Woodland Park Zoo, all right? No big deal. They take up about half the bus, but one kid is sitting next to me. Keep in mind, this is also during Movember, so I have like my dirt stash. As a grown-ass man, always a bad look. But anyway, this kid's sitting next to me, and they're maybe 6, 7 years old. No big deal, but anytime that you would switch up songs on your iPod, the screen would light up. All right, so the screen lit up 2 or 3 times, and like anyone, every time it lit up, the kid would just kind of glance over because there's a sudden glow. No big deal. One of the times it lights up, and I think my thumb just hit it, but I was listening to Tool. And when the kid glances over, I see him read what's on the screen, and it says, "Hooker with a penis." That is the song, and I'm like, oh my God. And just this kid, you can see his body language change, and I'm like, oh, dude.
It's a great tune, yeah.
This is a bad look.
Who or what calls the interruption? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Cameron. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, so going off of what you guys are saying, so I'm active duty military. I was on deployment, and I got off work a little bit early one day for whatever reason. So I'm sitting in the berthing. I climb in my bed, and I figure I got some time to take care of some stuff, take care of some training.
Yeah.
And so I bust out my laptop. I put on my headphones.
Uh-oh.
And I'm getting ready to go at it. Nothing happens. No one stops me. And then right after I finish what I'm doing, my curtains get ripped open, and it's my coworker standing right there. Goes, "Cam, what are you doing? Man overboard."
Oh.
And I'm just sitting there like, oh, God. Makes me jump out of my rack, throw on my clothes. Turns out someone had thrown a glow stick in the water, and it had been long past when I was supposed to be in the office. So I had to walk down to the muster location with my ID and be like, "Hey, it's not me. I'm not in the water."
Oh, man. How long had they thought you'd been overboard?
They didn't think it was me that was overboard. They just couldn't find me. But they thought I didn't muster up until about 14 minutes in. So after 7 minutes, I can't just go to my work center. I have to go down to this location in the hangar bay, show them my ID, and prove that I'm not in the water.
Did you have to explain to anyone where it is you were?
My boss at the time, my chief, asked me where I was. I just told him, look, I was in my rack. I had my noise-canceling headphones on. I was watching a TV show.
Well, that is true. It's not really a TV show, but it's...
But it was on his TV. It all works. Has
there ever been an adult television show? In other words, I've been to Pornhub many times.
Sure.
I know that there's lots of movies. We get used now to watching series with Netflix and everything else. Has there been 9 episodes, half hour?
Yeah, they used to on Skinamax all the time. Right?
I know, but I mean, I'm talking more hardcore,
I don't know what the laws are as far as cable showing hardcore if you're not paying for it, but Cinemax,
I'm just saying
it was always softcore, but there were certain TV shows like, Emmanuel. I don't know who she is, but I know that I enjoy her program.
Just within the format, even if it was just on Pornhub.
Yeah.
Not even on Netflix.
Oh, you mean like the show?
Just the way you do it. Half an hour, 9 episodes. Dude, I just finished season 2 of, whatever.
Right. I don't know that anybody would care anymore.
You know what? That's a good point.
Or they used to always have storylines, and then if it was just straight to the action, I think it was gonzo porn. But now that's pretty much all we watch is scenes.
Yeah.
And sure, you got to see the setup. She doesn't know there's no jobs.
Who are you auditioning for the role of again?
Right? Can you guess what I'm going to ask you to do next?
Who or what caused the interruption? 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.